And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Friday, November 11th. I am Josh Engleman, and I'm here to break down an 8-game NBA slate. We actually have a normal slate for today. We haven't had that all week. It was 15 games and then 13 games, and then even yesterday, just 4. Now, standard issue 8-gamer. Gonna be a fun one. Excited to break it down. Thank you guys for being here. Great to see everybody in chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We made it to Friday, everybody. We are here. We are here to break it all down. So I'm ultra excited to get into my coffee. I'm not going to lie. Went out to dinner last night, had a couple drinks, not feeling the best right now. We got the gym coming up in 2 hours. That's going to be pretty awful. Feel dehydrated. Coffee's not going to help, but coffee is necessary right now. Got to get it in my body. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. I will have updates for tonight's slate. I will post my updates before I go live. I am on live before lock tonight from 6 to 7. So please stop by, come hang out, watch the show. But I'll put an update out during the deeper dive portion. So come join us. Dinner was good. No complaints. Got a little bit left to eat today. Anyway, let's get into it. So I've got my coffee. I hope you guys do as well. If you've got a coffee, tea, water, beer, go for it. A little hair of the dog probably would be good for me if I wasn't going to the gym. Like having a mimosa to start today would probably help me out, but we're going to stick to coffee in this one. I would definitely do a breakfast sandwich of some sort. That would taste good. I kind of wish I had that. If you've got food, enjoy it. But let's do it right now. Rise and grind. You guys see it on the screen. That's the only way we start this day. Cheers, everybody. Let's get into the coffee. Almost made. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that I'm more likable by myself. I agree with you. Let's talk quickly about BetMGM. They are the presenting sponsor of this show. If you are new to sports betting, if you have not signed up at BetMGM, and if you are in a legal betting state, please head on over. There is a link in the description of this video. Click it, follow the instructions to sign up. It's going to allow you to get up to a $1,000 risk-free bet and 2 free months of Stokastic Plus Platinum. I even got a little bit of a thing. Look at, there we go. That's it. Stokastic and BetMGM. You can get 2 months of Stokastic Plus Platinum, a risk-free bet up to $1,000. My thumbs up seal of approval, and the link is below. Look at that. Graphics and everything now. When you're good, you're good. Show's come a long way. I'm going to DoorDash Josh a blue Gatorade. By the time you DoorDash me a blue Gatorade, I will have already left this house. Also, I do love you guys, but no chance will I ever provide my address to any of you crazy people. Man, they kill y'all with the thumbnails. Alrighty, let's get into it. Let's switch it up. Let's change up the view. We'll go short. We'll go down to the corner. And we are going to look at game number 1. The Denver Nuggets, 4.5-point dogs in Boston, 231 total. This is the second highest total on today's slate. On the Denver side, everybody's healthy. Everybody's normal. This is just sort of what we've got for Denver at this point. I've got Jamal Murray in for 30 minutes. That seems like about what he's playing right now. I got 31 in for KCP. I've got 34 in for Jokic. Now, he hasn't done that a lot, but that's clearly the goal. And against Boston, he's playing 34 minutes. DeAndre Jordan in for backup run. MPJ, minutes are climbing again. Played 36 this most recent timeout. I know Jokic was in foul trouble. I feel like 30 is where I need to be there. I can make Jeff Green 18 then. We've got Aaron Gordon in for 30. Feel about right there for a competitive matchup. Bones goes in for 22. I guess I can probably make that 23. Rest of this is pretty easy. Christian Brown is actually not in the rotation any longer. Don't think it matters. At 20, maybe I go 24 and 24 Bones and Bruce Brown. That makes a little bit more sense to me. Let's look at Denver rates so far this year, just to make sure we're where we want to be. Because obviously we have Jokic projected in a tricky way, because he has been so dramatically different from a usage perspective this season than he has been in the past 2 years. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was a 30% usage guy that is now at 25.5 so far this season. And I think that's going to climb as the season goes on, but he is very much doing a job of getting everyone involved. I'm going to bring Aaron Gordon's usage rate down. KCP is in for like 13. I'll just let that calculate itself. MPJ is at 21. It's actually starting to stabilize. Bruce Brown's at 16. Jamal Murray is at 27. So I will bump that up a little bit. Bones is at 30. So there's that. Got to be aware of like when these guys are on the floor. Now, Jokic's assist rate is still massive. That's always good to see. What is Bones' assist rate? 8.5. Yeah, we can take that away. Bruce Brown is at 7. We will bump up Bruce Brown. Jamal Murray, also at 7. Don't have to change that one. KCP, close enough. I think we're good here. Final one is going to be rebounding rate. Jokic hasn't moved. Nobody else is really a big rebounder that matters. So I think Denver's good. This game's going to be interesting because of that total. 231's no joke. Now on the Boston side, for the Celtics, no Robert Williams, no Malcolm Brogdon on this one. Hamstring tightness. That is a bit of a bump for someone like Derek White. I don't think it matters too much. This is Brogdon's first game missed. I assume we get Peyton Pritchard back into the lineup. I'm going to go to 26 on Derek White, just because. I'm going to go to 16 on Peyton Pritchard. We've got 33 in for Marcus Smart, 36 in for Jaylen Brown, 36 in for Jason Tatum. Sam Hauser looking like he's going to play a little bit more in this spot. Does he get up to like 20 minutes? Sounds about right. Justin Jackson played. Don't even have him on the roster. Can I add that without messing anything up? Nope, not right there. I can't. Do it right here. Nope, can't do it right there either. Don't need him then. Don't care. Actually, I'll just replace Gallo. He doesn't need to be there. We'll give 2 spillover minutes to Justin Jackson. Now, rates here, I know I've changed 1,000 times, so I don't have anything to change for Boston, which means we got to look at this one. And I'll tell you what, the Boston side of this one looks good. Jaylen Brown in particular, 8,200 on DraftKings and on FanDuel, shooting guard, small forward eligible. I like Jaylen Brown more than I like Jason Tatum just because of the price. $1,900 cheaper on DraftKings, $1,900 cheaper on FanDuel. These guys basically have the same salary on both sites. I think Jaylen Brown looks really good on DK. And that's not to say that Tatum and Smart and Horford and Derek White don't look good on DraftKings as well. But I think Jaylen Brown is the best option you're going to get from Boston. Lots to like from Boston just in general, though. On the Denver side, Not a lot to like here. I would say that Denver is sort of the opposite of Boston in that nobody looks good. Bones is an okay value. Jamal Murray is an okay value. On FanDuel, where Jokic is 10-6, that's a little bit different because no matter what his rates have changed to, he's still a 1.6 fantasy point per minute guy so far this season. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's still third in per minute fantasy rate. So it's not as if him giving up some of that usage is like really affecting him all that much. He's still ultra efficient and, getting all of the assists, all of the rebounds. So I still like getting to Jokic on FanDuel. On DraftKings, there's not a priority there. Game number 2, the Phoenix Suns are 7-point favorites in Orlando, 214 total. This is the lowest total on the slate by 7 points. Can't imagine a lot of this is going to look very good. Phoenix, not on a back-to-back. We've got the Q tag on Chris Paul. He missed this most recent game on Wednesday with a foot, I believe. Yeah, right heel soreness. And then Cam Johnson, obviously going to be out for a while. We got to project Chris Paul in, so there's really only one way to do this. Chris Paul had been playing 30 minutes a game. I give him 30. I give Cam Payne 18. We're going to take Josh Okogie out. Andrew Shamet can stay at 18 minutes. Jock Landale, I guess, can come down. They're not splitting every center minute, which makes sense. Torrey Craig in for 26. That makes sense. Shamet's minutes make sense. Dario Saric's minutes are fine, but I will take 2 away from Damian Lee. Go to 22. Actually, we'll go to 20 and 12. Oh, coffee hits the spot. I don't have any changes that I really want to make here. So let's look at the Orlando side. I'm sure they have 27 injuries. Orlando, Paolo, questionable. Definitely missed the last game for Orlando. I'm going to assume that he's playing. At that point, no Cole Anthony, no Markelle Fultz, no Harris, no Isaac, no Mo Wagner. So standard stuff here for Orlando. I'm going to go ahead and re-project this entire rotation just to make life easier. We're going to go Wendell Carter Jr., 32 minutes. We're going to go Mo Bamba at a minimum. Maybe not a minimum, but getting backup run with 16. We'll get Paolo Banchero back in for 34. We'll get Franz Wagner in for 34. We'll get Jalen Suggs in for 32. And the rest of this should all be pretty easy. Terrence Ross's minutes appear to be back up. The Banchero minutes not being there on Wednesday matter, but he still played 30 on Monday. That's where it starts to get a little tricky. I'm going to put 24 in there for Terrence Ross. Bull seems to play like 24 minutes a game. So we're going to go ahead and give him those. That leaves me 44 minutes for Caleb Houston, RJ Hampton, Admiral Scott, the rest of these crazies. Kevon Harris also missed on Wednesday. He had been playing about 14 minutes a game, so I do want to give him those minutes. So let's give Kevon Harris 14. We'll give Caleb Houston 14, and we'll give RJ Hampton 16. I don't actually believe in that, but it's a decent placeholder for right now. That all looks fine to me. I am going to pull Orlando rates because I think I made changes to Orlando. I mean, I assume I made changes to Orlando when Paolo was out. So let's get everything for Orlando. All right, Franz Wagner. Usage rate so far this season, 23.5. Lock that in. Wendell Carter, 20. Paolo Banchero, 29.9. I mean, I assume he's had like either Suggs out there or Anthony for basically all of it. So I'll put him in for 29. Boss basically doesn't have usage. Bull basically doesn't have it. Nobody else really has it. Suggs, I got to lock in. Suggs is at 22. 22.8, actually. Let's lock that in. All right, let's look at assist rates. Suggs is at 8 assists per 100 possessions. Nothing crazy. Franz Wagner's at 6.5. So bump him up at least a little bit. Paolo Banchero is at 5. So that doesn't have to move. So nobody else has to move. Final thing is rebounds, which is interesting for this team because of how big they are. Got to cut Wendell Carter Jr.'s rebounding down. Paolo Banchero, we don't have to move. He's just getting a lot of rebounds. Bull also rebounding pretty aggressively. We're going to bump his up. That'll be game number 2. But as we look at Orlando, assuming Banchero plays, I don't think anything really looks good for the Magic. I wouldn't say there's a single priority here on either DraftKings or FanDuel. I wouldn't say there's a single priority on DraftKings or FanDuel for Orlando. I don't even have a best play. I mean, it's probably Suggs, but I don't like it. I don't like Orlando at all. Let's look at Phoenix. For the Suns, assuming Chris Paul is in, I really like DeAndre Ayton at 6,200 on DraftKings or 6,500 on FanDuel. Do I have him over projected? I don't feel like I do, but I also feel like I need to look. What has DeAndre Ayton done so far this season usage-wise? 24. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave that in there. Booker 30. It'll be fine. I like Ayton. Both sites. I kind of like Devin Booker. 9,400 on DraftKings, 9K on FanDuel. Might be a tad over projected. I'm going to cut his usage rate just a hair. Down to 30.5. Bridges is at 16. I do want to make sure I lock him in. Yeah, Ayton, I'm happy with that usage rate. Know what Campaign's going to do on the bench. Chris Paul this season had been at a 15% usage rate. I am going to allow that to happen. But assist rates, definitely a little bit different. You know, Chris Paul obviously going to dominate the basketball. Campaign, pretty sizable assist rate. Devin Booker, close enough. Is Ayton rebounding more aggressively? He is not. So now let's actually look at it like this. Yeah, it's still Ayton, and Booker is okay. But DeAndre Ayton is the actual priority from this game. Coffee is helping me out tremendously. Tremendously. Oh, Bridges is playing 36 minutes again. I got to give him another minute. Had him only in for 35. He needs to be in for 36. Doesn't change anything. He still doesn't look all that interesting to me, but 2 games up, 2 games down. We have 6 more to go. It is 6:50. As of right now, we have 103 people in here. It is a Friday. It's usually slow. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. We're not going to get to 100 likes by 7 o'clock. We're just not going to have enough people in here on a Friday, especially on Veterans Day. So Detroit Pistons are 8-point dogs in New York. This is a 225 total. Bing bong, by the way. Let's look at the Pistons. Got the Q tag on Cade. Left shin. We've got Q tag on Bagley. Alec Burks is probable. Hamidou Diallo is questionable. All righty. We got to think about this one now. Marvin Bagley is going to play here today. The question then becomes, where do his minutes actually come from? So I'm going to take Killian Hayes' minutes out, Diallo and Livers out. We're going to say that Beef Stew maintains his 28 minutes. We're going to leave Jalen Duren in for 20. I'm going to say that Marvin Bagley plays 18 minutes off the bench. Boyan, I think, maintains 30. Keep 32 on Bay. I think Alec Burks is going to step into the rotation. I'm going to say that Burks is becoming like the backup point guard. So that leaves me Killian Hayes and one of Isaiah Livers or Hamidou Diallo. I'm going to say it's Livers or Livers. I don't know how to technically say that. So let's go 15 to Hayes, 15 to Livers / Livers. All right. Rates are all going to stay the same. I haven't had any changes to make for Detroit in a while. Obviously, a lot in flux there with the Q tag to Cade, because if Cade ends up out, this one's going to look a lot different. Now, on the Knicks, let's see. What do we got for New York? Probable tag on Quentin Grimes. Still no Mitchell Robinson. Grimes obviously expected to start here. Assuming he is back. I have Grimes in for 13 minutes. Don't love that right now. Sims played 26, so we need to look at this most recent rotation. Not that it matters all that much. So that would have been on the 9th. Knicks. They did get their asses kicked. Sims played blowout run. He got 4 minutes of blowout run. So I do think that I got to give him a little bit more playing time. So I'm going to cut everything here from the Knicks and start from scratch. We'll give Jalen Brunson his 33. We'll give RJ Barrett his 34. We'll give Julius Randle his 34. Then I can give Sims, I'm going to say he plays 20 minutes. And then I'm going to say that Isaiah Hartenstein plays 24. Yet 18 for Obi Toppin. I think Quentin Grimes is going to start. And if Quentin Grimes is going to start, which we saw Friday the 4th, I believe. Quentin Grimes did start that game, didn't play the second quarter or the fourth quarter, just played the first quarter and the third quarter. So I'm going to say that Quentin Grimes plays 16 minutes. I'm going to say that Derrick Rose is basically the backup point guard. Quickly is also basically the backup point guard. Go 18 minutes to Quickly. And I still have to get minutes to Fournier and Reddish. Reddish's minutes are weird. Fournier's minutes are less weird. If I go 12 here, that gives me 18 for Reddish. I can't be the only guy that doesn't see the like if Quentin Grimes is back and starting, Cam Reddish is not going to be able to play that many minutes. He played 15. He basically just played. Cam Reddish played the second half of Quentin Grimes' rotation. So instead of Quentin Grimes coming back on in the second quarter, Reddish played that rotation. Similar story for the fourth quarter. I'm going to assume they do that again. Now, I think it's possible that we see Reddish play 28 minutes and that like Evan Fournier leaves the rotation. But for right now, I feel pretty comfortable here with the Knicks. And on the Knicks, because they're facing the Pistons, I think Randall, Barrett, and Brunson all look pretty good today on DraftKings. I don't love Brunson's $7,600 price tag on FanDuel. I think it's pretty easy to get away from that. I think Hartenstein is still very viable at 4,800 on FanDuel just because he can fall into any sort of minutes. But Randall, Barrett, and Brunson, those are not bad prices on DK. The only thing that sucks is you don't have the MPE, whereas on FanDuel, you get power forward center on Randall, shooting guard small forward on Barrett, and point guard shooting guard on Brunson. But again, Brunson's price on FanDuel is not appealing. I like the Knicks a little bit. Do I like Detroit? Yeah, I mean, I'm going straight back to Cade in a relatively aggressive manner. 7,200 on DraftKings for Cade, 7,800 on FanDuel. He just shouldn't be 7,200. I mean, at 34 minutes, like maybe I have him overprojected a little bit. I just don't know where to take his rates from. He projects really, really well. I don't know what to do with that. Cade's got a 29% usage rate. I'm going to take one look at this quickly, just because I have Cade projected higher than everybody else always. Oh, he's got a 29.2% usage rate so far this season. I got him in for 29. I don't see a reason why I would want to change that. Everything else looks normal to me. Assist rate, assists per 100 possessions, 8.5. That's exactly where I have him. Rebounding, defensive rebounding rate, 7.5. That's exactly where I have him. I can't make that change on Cade. I just think he's going to be a more efficient shooter. So, Team Cade today. I also like Sadiq Bey and Jaden Ivey on DK. A little bit less so on FanDuel. Like Bey is $200 more expensive. Jaden Ivey is $1,000 more expensive. But I really like Cade today. 3 games down. Making good progress here today, folks. Thank you for being here. We're going to go to Toronto at OKC. Toronto is 5.5-point favorites in Oklahoma City. 221 total. I know Precious Achiuwa is now going to be out for some extended time. We obviously without Pascal Siakam still for a bit. Kem Birch also out. So this is going to start to get a little interesting for Toronto. They're going to they can go one of two ways. They can start opening their rotation a bit more, playing guys the minutes you would expect, or they concentrate it still to the guys that they trust, and you start getting more minutes to Chris Boucher or Christian Coloco or Otto Porter. So something that we need to pay attention to for sure. I've got Van Vliet in for 36 minutes. Sounds good. I got Trent in for 34. Good. I've got Anunoby in for 37. He's been playing 37 plus in the last 4 with no Siakam. And then Scotty Barnes, I've got in for 35. That seems about right to me. I want to bump up Otto Porter's minutes. I think he's live to play like 22 now. Thad played 27 this last time out. Coloco played a bit less, as did Boucher to a degree. I'm going to take Thad up to 18. I'm going to leave Boucher in it. I'm going to give Boucher 22. I've got Coloco in for 22. I've got Delano Banton in for, 7. And then does anybody else enter the rotation? Maybe I just go 14 to Banton. Yeah, I'm going 14 to Banton. don't have any other rates to change. It's not like Precious Achua affects the rest of the team. So Ian, thanks for being here. I hope that I can bore your 2-year-old to sleep. I'll try not to say anything ridiculous. For OKC, I imagine we're not going to care at all here. I'm tired of trying to figure out this team. Now, we did see them go to double OT and just play the hell out of Poku and Trey Mann. Maybe that continues. I'm going to delete this whole rotation just to look at it a little bit easier. But I just don't trust this team, and I have very little interest in trying to trust this team. So let's think about it just straight away. We're going to say Trey Mann in at point guard. Actually, didn't start. Obviously. Played a lot of OT. Played all of the fourth quarter. I'm going to say Trey Mann in for 24 minutes. Then we can get Shea in for, 34? 35? We'll go 35. We'll go... Giddey has been playing 29 minutes a game. I'm going to go 30 on Giddey. We're going to go 31 on Dort. Poku played a very standard rotation. He played all of the first OT, basically all of the second OT. So he played about 30 minutes in regulation. There's no way that I'm giving him that. I'm going to give him 28. Then we saw JRE start. He got into a little bit of foul trouble early. Never saw the floor again in the third quarter. I'm going to say that he plays 18 minutes. Jalen Williams played 22. Never saw the floor in OT. I'm just going to give Jalen Williams the other 20 minutes at the 4 for right now. Baisley barely played. Muscala is a guy they dusted off for 16-ish minutes. So let's keep that momentum alive. Aaron Wiggins finally got dusted off for another rotation, though he didn't play in the second half. I hate this team so much. It's so stupid. Kenrich Williams played a little bit in OT. We're going to give him 14 minutes. Still leaves me 24 minutes. Who am I missing here? Isaiah Joe got a rotation. I will continue to give him a rotation. And then Aaron Wiggins can have 12 minutes. I guess. Close enough. Rates can stay the same. That much I know. But holy hell, I hate Oklahoma City. And as we look at them, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on DraftKings at 9,200 is wildly too low of a price. Please get yourself some Shai Gilgeous-Alexander today. I got to wake up, too. More coffee right now. Man, this is so good. So good. I didn't project Baisley. That's a great point. I'm going to say that Aaron Wiggins won't see the floor and Baisley will. Or is Baisley out? Is that the problem here? Darius Baisley is out. No, I got that right. I thought he was out. I don't know why I did it like that. Okay, play Shea. On DraftKings, you can make a case for Dort, Giddey, and Poku, and that's about it. I don't think you can make that case on FanDuel. And with Shea at 10-1, I don't think he's going to look amazing. So not a lot for me for OKC on the FanDuel side, but $9,200 Shea on DraftKings is wildly underpriced in comparison to how they're pricing people up. On Toronto, I mean, I like these guys pretty much all the time. Anunoby is 7,100 on DraftKings and 8,500 on FanDuel. $1,400 difference. You basically can't play OG Anunoby on FanDuel unless you're expecting him to get 10 stocks. I actually think he looks good on DraftKings. Van Vliet looks really good at 8,400 on DK. I think Gary Trent looks solid at 5,800. You can get to Barnes, probably more so on FanDuel at 7,700. Otto Porter and Thad Young are both point per dollar play value options on DK. Both of those guys are stupidly 4,900 on FanDuel, so you could skip them there. We're halfway done, folks. Making good progress. I'm happy we only have an 8 gamer. I really did not want to have to break down like 11 games for a Friday. What do we have next week? What does the schedule look like for next week? I'm not going to be around for Wednesday's show. I am not going to be able to do a Wednesday process. We have 7 games on Monday, 5 games on Tuesday, 10 games on Wednesday, 3 on Thursday, and 11 on Friday. That's a decent week. But yeah, no process on Wednesday. I got to do some traveling, so I'm not going to be around for that. Milwaukee Bucks. Wow, everybody's still out. I did not realize that. So, no Drew, no Middleton, no Giannis. No Connaughton, no Joe Ingles, no AJ Green. So we're doing the Milwaukee value again. I don't know if any prices have changed. This is kind of crazy. All right, I'm going to start this rotation from scratch and base it a little bit more on what we saw this most recent game. I did not know this was still going to happen. Oh boy. Okay. So I'm going to assume the starting lineup is the same, which means we're going to get Javon Carter starting. He played, I don't know, he's going to play 32 minutes. That's just what we're going to see. Grayson Allen didn't play the second OT, played 30 minutes in regulation, basically. I'm going to maintain 30 on Grayson Allen. Brook Lopez played both OTs essentially in full. So he played 35 minutes in regulation. There's no way I'm projecting him for that. So I'll give him 32. And then Portis obviously didn't play as much as everybody wanted him to play. Played 34 minutes. Played about 8 minutes in regulation, which not ideal. I don't think that that's going to shake out the way that it did. So I have no reason to suspect Portis isn't playing 30 minutes. And then Marshawn Beauchamp started, played 5 minutes in the OT, played 25 minutes in regulation. That actually seems spot on. So I'm going to give him 24. And now let's fill in the blanks behind this. George Hill played a ton, did get some OT run, but played about 30 minutes in regulation. So I think he's just going to be out there a lot. But 28. Serge Ibaka was able to play. Jordan Nwora was the second guy off the bench. Nwora played 17 minutes. I'm going to give him 18. I took a stand on Jordan Nwora. Didn't work. Serge as a backup center. Again, 12 minutes. Didn't play the fourth. Sounds about right for 12. We still have 34 minutes left for Wes Matthews, and I guess Mamu saw the floor in the first half. So I guess we can give Mamu a couple minutes. And then we go to Wes Matthews for, I don't know what, 24. He played 29. A lot of that came in OT, where he played basically 8 minutes. So 20 for Wes Matthews. That leaves me 10 more minutes. So not going crazy. Still gives me 10 minutes left over. I can give Thanasis a couple extra minutes. Because I can't just go to... I don't think Brook Lopez is going to play the entire fourth quarter again. We can't go that way. So I am going to give more minutes to Wes Matthews because he's such a terrible per minute guy. We'll take Mamu up to 6. We'll take Serge up to 14. If I give Jordan Nwora 20 minutes, it's going to hurt me. But I think it could happen if the shot's falling. Rates all stay the same. This is going to be a very interesting Milwaukee team. The fact that they're dogs is crazy, but that's how good everyone is that's out. On the San Antonio side of this one, no Zach Collins, no Blake Wesley. So standard rotation here. Are they playing more minutes now? Okay, that is an OT game. Just making sure. I was like, shit. If they're ramping up, but they're not ramping up. All right, San Antonio went to overtime against Memphis, lost by 2. All the starters played the entire 5-man overtime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they only went to a 9-man rotation. I've got 11 guys in here right now, so I'm just going to cut everything that's here. So we got Trey Jones starting, normal rotation, played 32 minutes. That works for me. 32 minutes for Trey Jones. Evan Vassell played 34 minutes in regulation. Seems like that's what they want to happen, going 34. Keldon Johnson, going to be the same story there, right? Yeah, played 34 in regulation. Boom, done. Jeremy Sohan played 25 minutes in regulation. Seems like he's just always in foul trouble in some way. I'm going to go to 26. And then finally, Jakob Poeltl, just steady hand. He's playing 30 minutes a game. That's just sort of what we know. The rest of this is pretty easy. We're going to go Charles Bassey, straight backup center. We have Doug McBuckets, straight in for 22 minutes. And then we just got to split the final 44 minutes between Romeo Langford and Jay Rich. So I'm going to give Josh Richardson 24. I'm going to give Romeo Langford 20, and that will be your San Antonio Spurs. No rates to change. So on the Spurs, I mean, the Spurs look great. I think there's a play where you can play a little Charles Bassey as the paydown center, but Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, Jakob Poeltl, all 4 of these guys look really good today. I mean, really good. Get to the Spurs. Holy hell. And they look a lot better on DraftKings. Vassell, $200 cheaper on DK. Keldon Johnson, $200 cheaper on DK. Trey Jones, $200 cheaper on DK. Jakob Poeltl's $100 cheaper on FanDuel, but either way. These guys look good today. Very, very good. I'm going to look at San Antonio's rates so far this season because I feel like I haven't done it in a while. So let's find out. I just want to make sure that I don't have anybody goosed a little bit higher than I should. So Keldon Johnson so far this season, a little over a 27% usage rate. I'm actually going to bump that up. Trey Jones is at a little over 19. Lock that in at 19. Jakob Poeltl's at 17.5. Put that in. Devin Vassell is at 25. These guys are going to look better than what I just had in. Better. That's insane. I don't have any other changes to make here because I really only wanted to hit these top 4 guys. Let's look at assist rates. Trey Jones is at 10. That works. Keldon Johnson is at 5. Evan Vassell is at 6. Jakob Poeltl is also at 6, but he's Jakob Poeltl. Rebounds. Little over 6 for Keldon. I'll bring him down a little bit. I can soften that blow slightly. Jakob Poeltl. Right where he normally is. Devin Vassell. Right-ish where he normally is. Yeah. San Antonio looks incredible on DraftKings today. Really anxious to see where I end up through the rest of the day. See where Adam is later today. But I think the San Antonio side of this one looks really, really good. What about Keita Bates-Diop? He is not in the rotation. So he'll play, in my opinion, 0 minutes today. Probably don't want to play him. For Milwaukee, it's Bobby Portis season again on FanDuel for sure. You're jamming Portis. He's 7K on DraftKings, but he's still only 5,800 on FanDuel. It's not close. Bobby Portis is unquestionably the best option on Milwaukee. On DraftKings, though, they fixed the pricing for everybody. Lopez, Carter, Portis, Allen, George Hill, to me, all look very similar relative to salary. I'd say Portis is still the best option there just because of positionality, but Grayson Allen's pretty close because he's shooting guard small forward. On FanDuel, these guys aren't as interesting. Lopez is $400 more expensive. Grayson Allen, not as advantageous of a position. George Hill is up to 4K, so he's not the same value. Beauchamp is 4,400. He's pretty bad from a per minute perspective. Jordan Nwora is a value-ish option, but that's a real flyer. Milwaukee San Antonio is very clearly the best game we've seen so far. That's going to have the most ownership going to it. Then we go to Minnesota, rematch of last year's fun playoff series. The Wolves are 4.5-point dogs in Memphis, 234 total. This is the highest total on the slate. If there's any injuries here, that's going to open stuff up. Naz Reid out. Don't think that's going to carry too much weight, but he is out. So we've got 30 minutes going to... I mean, everything here is pretty standard. Jaden McDaniels plays 28 minutes a game. I got to have him in there for 28. I got Slow-Mo in for 20. Make that 22. We've got Taurean Prince in for 18. I'm going to make that 19. Just going to allow the rest of this to look pretty good. 36 minutes for Anthony Edwards might be too many, and I know I'm just going to keep getting Edwards, but just going to give 4 minutes to Nathan Knight as a spillover. Don't know why I don't have him on the team right now. Nathan Knight, Minnesota, 4 spillover. I mean, we know that I'm going to like Anthony Edwards. I like Anthony Edwards every single day we do this show. Oh, that's not going to change, especially in this matchup against Memphis. For Memphis, no Jaren Jackson, no Zaire Williams. So full strength the Grizz. That makes it pretty easy here. We got Bane in for 34, Morant in for 33. Dylan Brooks has played 30-plus in the last 3. That did go to OT. That would have been 31. I'm going to leave him at 29 because I still get him. Tyus Jones's minutes look fine. Santi Aldama's minutes are starting to go down. Last 4, he's averaged 22. Add another one, it's 23-7. Spot on 23-7 again. 24, 25. I got to cut 2 minutes there. He's only playing 25 minutes a game now. Steven Adams played massive minutes in his return. Plays about 27 a game. I'm going to give him 27. Conchar in for 22. He's actually playing a little bit more. I'm going to give him 1 more minute. David Roddy and Jake LaRavia are just whatever. So I think we're good here. What's up, Josh Locks? I don't have any rates to change here, so let's look at this one. For Memphis, I like Dylan Brooks the most of anybody here. 5,600 on DraftKings, 5,300 on FanDuel. He's shooting guard small forward. He's playing his way into a situation where he might even be playing more minutes. I will happily go to Bane at 8,100 on both sites. I would happily go to, Ja looks good at 10K on DraftKings, although I feel like you'd want to go to Shea first, but 9,700 for Ja on FanDuel is fine. Adams is 5,400 on DraftKings. That's good value. DraftKings just has a lot softer pricing today than FanDuel does. On Minnesota, it's Anthony Edwards for me. Just a ton of him. 7,500 on DK, 7,200 on FanDuel. I just project him better based on how efficient I think he's going to be. So let's take a look at Minnesota and see if there's something that I can do for Anthony Edwards to make his rates look a little bit more normal. So straight away, Anthony Edwards, I have projected for a 27% usage rate. In 437 minutes this year, he's at 26. So I will take it down a notch. Maybe I'm a little overzealous with that usage rate. So we'll take that down to 26. Towns is at 24. I'll take him down a notch. Russell's at 24, so he's fine. Gobert is obviously lower. But Anthony Edwards this season, 54.5% true shooting. I think that's exactly where I have him. Yep, 54. If I look at the assist rate, it's 4.8. So we'll bring it down a little bit. Just soften those edges. And then rebounding rate is 6.5. Bring that down just a little bit. But that's Edwards. Do I like him as much as I did a minute ago? No. But he's still the best play on Minnesota by far. Towns, Gobert, Russell, I think you can flip a coin between those three guys and feel pretty good about it. 2 games left. Cleveland Cavaliers, 2-point dogs in Golden State, 228 total. Gonna have to look at Cleveland rates, that's for sure. On the Cleveland side of this one, no Ricky Rubio. So full strength team. I got 36 minutes in for Garland. That looks fine to me. I got 37 in for Donovan Mitchell. That looks more than fine to me. You can make a case that should be 38. In fact, I'm going to make that 38. 32 minutes for LeVert. I feel like that should actually be higher. So I'm going to make that 33 on LeVert. 33 for Mobley, 32 for Okoro, 21 for Kevin Love. All that looks good. Love's going to struggle in this matchup. Rates, I guess I can look at quickly. Now that we've had Garland playing. So let's see. In games where Darius Garland has played, that's really what we want to know. How are these guys interacting? Because at this point, they've played 193 minutes for Mitchell in games that Garland's played, 29% usage rate. Garland in those games, 166 minutes, 26% usage rate. LeVert is at 17. Evan Mobley is at 18. Jared Allen is at 18.5. Kevin Love, 22. Now, that looks like a Cleveland rotation. That I can handle. Are they doing anything weird assist-wise? Mitchell is not that guy when everybody plays. Good to see. Garland is that guy when everybody plays. LeVert, sort of that guy. That's Cleveland. Golden State side of this one, I think is easy. I think they're fully healthy. Yep. DiVincenzo back. Finally. Had been out for 8 games. Now, he is not going to step into like crazy time. He might just really take the 16 minutes that like Moses Moody or Ty Jerome was playing. I'm actually just going to take Ty Jerome's minutes and give him there. But Curry, Poole, Wiggins, Draymond, I don't have anything that I really want to change from their minutes. Looney, we know what he does. Wiseman left the rotation for Kuminga. If that continues. Anthony Lamb kept playing. I mean, there's another person that could take DiVincenzo's minutes. This all looks fine to me. Oh, JaMychal Green actually didn't play. I don't think they're long for that, though, so. You know what? Maybe they are. Not that it matters. Not like we're rostering anybody other than Wiggins, Draymond, Poole, Clay, or Steph. So for Golden State, once again, I like Clay more than I like anything else here. I don't find Golden State to be priced all that well. This is a terrible matchup, too. I mean, Cleveland, really good defensively. Don't love Curry in this spot. Don't love Wiggins. Draymond and Clay are the only 2 real interesting names to me, or 6K Jordan Poole on DraftKings. On the Cleveland side, where did I type that? On the Cleveland side, a lot of great prices here. Darius Garland, 7,400 on DraftKings looks really good. I think Mitchell for 9,100 on DraftKings still looks solid. Evan Mobley is 5,700 with power forward eligibility on DK. That's the best price of anybody in Cleveland. I like Jared Allen as well, though. 6,600 and 7K. Jared Allen gets the power forward eligibility on FanDuel. Lots to like here for Cleveland, which is not something we say all that frequently. But Garland, Mobley, Allen, both sites, priorities. And then we close it out. Final game. The Sacramento Kings are 4-point favorites in LA. That is an embarrassment to the Lakers. On the Sacramento side, everybody is healthy, which means we know this rotation. This is pretty easy to handle. We've got 35 minutes for Fox. That is basically what he plays. Yeah. We've got 32 minutes for Kevin Huerter. That works. 32 minutes for Harry B. That works. 30 minutes for Keegan Murray. That works. 32 minutes for Sabonis. Sure. Malik Monk's minutes are up to 28 over the past 3 games. So I do want to bump him up even further. We're going to take him up to 28. Now, we're going to take him to 27. Terrence Davis didn't play this most recent game. Davion Mitchell in for 16. We're going to take him up to 18. Metsy Metu is playing, and Trey Lyles needs more minutes. So we'll go 16 to Lyles, 16 to Metu, 2 spill over to Terrence Davis. There's your Sacramento. And then we go to the Lake show. The Lakers have a Q tag on Lonnie Walker. No LeBron. AD in. Obviously still no Schroeder. So we got to cut this whole rotation and really think about what's going to shake out here. We're going to say... Oh, I just deleted Sacramento. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's look at the Lakers. Guys, thank you for being here. How many people are here now? We're up to 182 viewers, 87 likes. Now's the time to ask. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. Let's get that number up over 100. We've got 80 or 100 people here that have not hit that like button yet. All right. So, for the Lakers, no Bron. Got to assume that Lonnie Walker is playing. He's been out with an illness. He's missed 2 games. I just have to assume that he's playing now. So, Lonnie Walker in for 30 minutes. We're going to get Pat Bev in for 29. We're going to get Russ in for, let's say 29. Troy Brown appears to be playing like 28 minutes a game. Clearly, we're going 30. I'm going to go 34 to AD. And now is where things start to get interesting. Where do the rest of these minutes go? This is where it gets kind of tricky. So I'm going to assume that Kendrick Nunn starts. I think he's going to, at least. I need to get Austin Reeves the 26-ish minutes that he's going to play. So we still have 64 minutes for a couple guys. We need some sort of backup center type guy. That's going to have to be Wenyen Gabriel. I think we're going to have to put him in for like 20. For some reason, I don't have Max Christie added to my model yet. So I'm going to handle that later. Matt Ryan probably plays like 18 minutes. 14 minutes, 16 minutes, something like that. Then I go 20 to Nunn. And then a little bit to like Juan Toscano Anderson. That's 10. That's interesting. So let's see what these Lakers look like. Let's just say with LeBron James off. Russ has played 123 minutes with LeBron off, 28% usage rate. AD, 119 minutes with LeBron off, 30% usage rate. I'm going to look at last year too, just in case. We'll say games in which Russell Westbrook and AD both played with LeBron off the floor. So since last year, because the rest of the trash around them shouldn't matter. Since last year, LeBron James not on the floor. AD and Russ played in the games. They played a little over 900 minutes in these scenarios. Russ has a 30% usage rate, so I'm going to go to 29. AD's got a 29% usage rate, so I'm going to lock that down as well. Everybody else is just going to funnel through. Because nobody else is going to soak up much usage. Like even Melo could only get to 20%. Russ does have a big assist rate in this case. AD does not. And then from a rebounding perspective, I think that I hold every other rate here. So I'm not going to touch anything else for the Lakers other than those two usage rates for AD and for Russ. What does that look like then? Whew, okay. AD is 10-2 on DK and on FanDuel. I like him quite a bit. I think Patrick Beverley at 4,600 on DraftKings, 4,200 on FanDuel. I think he stands out. You have to assume that he starts playing a little bit better. Russell Westbrook is 7,300 on DraftKings, 7,200 on FanDuel. Looks solid. I think $5,100 Lonnie Walker also looks pretty solid. But AD is the priority for me coming out of the Lakers, along with Pat Bev on FanDuel. On the Sacramento side, 8K De'Aaron Fox on FanDuel stands out to me. $4,500 Malik Monk on DraftKings stands out to me. I think Sabonis and Barnes and Herter all look fine on DK. A little bit less fine on FanDuel. These late night hammers, there's a lot going on in the 10 o'clock and 10:30 starts tonight. This is not my most fun slate. Like 9:30, 10, 10:30 is a long night. Let's run some crunches though. First of all, we got up to 100 likes, so you guys are the best. Let's find out what the optimal lineup looks like on FanDuel for today. Let's get an idea of what we're doing. So, first one up. FanDuel optimal lineups for Friday, November 11th. Crispy, what's good? All right, FanDuel optimal. No surprise here. Cade Cunningham, Trey Jones, Javon Carter, Patrick Beverley, Keldon Johnson, Anthony Edwards, AD, Bobby Portis, Jakob Poeltl. All that looks super normal to me. It's a Milwaukee-San Antonio game stack. And then, guys that I love. It's the optimal lineup by 0.12. Now let's look at the power rankings here. Power rankings on FanDuel. Bobby Portis looking like he's going to be the number one play on FanDuel. Not really all that close. Cade ranking highly for me if he's in. Dylan Brooks, Anthony Edwards, very similar. De'Aaron Fox, Pat Bev, Darius Garland, Julius Randle. This is the top of this list. Javon Carter. But Bobby Portis, very, very clearly the number one play on FanDuel for today. Don't overthink it. That's the way you want to go. Bobby Portis, number one on FanDuel. What do we got on DraftKings? Before we get out of here, close out this week. Not going to lie. Pretty tired. Not going to lie. Don't want to go to the gym in a half hour. It might kill me. DK, optimal lineups. What do we have for today? We've got Cade Cunningham, 289.28. This is the optimal by 0.43. Cade Cunningham, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Bobby Portis, Jakob Poeltl, George Hill, Evan Mobley, Trey Jones. 4 Spurs, 2 Bucks, 6-man stack from that game in my optimal with Cade and Evan Mobley rounding it out. Love it. Let's look at the power rankings, where it's probably going to be Cade, and I'm going to have to do a different video. People aren't going to believe it. Or if it's Anthony Edwards, that's also bad for me. Yeah, I've got Cade at the top of the list. I don't feel bad about it, though. At 7,200. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was $900 more expensive a week and a half ago. At 7,200, you're looking for 46 fantasy points to hit your target score. He did that 2 games ago, went for 47. He had a 4-game stretch where he did it in all of them. 48, 51, 59, 48. All 4 of those games would hit the target score for today. I don't feel bad about this Cade at all. He should be the number 1 guy. To me, that's a no-brainer at 7,200. He shouldn't be cheaper. The only downside to Cade today is the injury. So Cade, number 1. Trey Jones, second. Then we get into a bunch of everybody. Monk, Edwards, Jaylen Brown round out the top 5. Randall, Mobley, AD, Garland, and Dylan Brooks round out the rest of the top 10. But that, my friends, is the end of the process. We are done here. Full banner, full screen. We made it through another work week. We are done here, folks. Another process show in the books, another week in the books of the process show. Again, we'll be back next week, but only Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I will not be on the there will be no process for Wednesday's slate for next week. Keep your eyes peeled for contenders. I will record them after I get back from the gym. Good luck to everybody tonight. I'm on Live Before Lock tonight. Normally it's the deeper dive. Tonight it is Live Before Lock. Had to move some things around. So tune in to that one. Gonna be fun. Thank you guys for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good weekend. This was The Process.